Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about the final episode of ReZero Season 3 on episode 16 or episode 66 of the total number of episodes. This episode right here was actually pretty crazy, especially with that ending. This reminds me of that time when I watched the director's cut of Season 1's ending of ReZero. So if anything else, let's just get this started right away. We get to see that Bayako and Otto are facing off against the Gluttony Archbishop of the Witches Cult, and apparently they actually struggle to do any good damage on him. The only time they were able to land a pretty good critical major hit on him, but not kill him at the same time, was when Gluttony ends up eating Felt's name, but at the same time he realizes that this name is not really Felt's true name, and by that time Bayako and Felt ends up using the magic item to blast Gluttony to oblivion, which is enough to knock him out and damage him, but not to kill him, I'm afraid. Before anyone else could deal a killing blow on him, we get to see that the younger sibling of the Gluttony Archbishops of the Witches Cult shows up, and her name is Rui Arnib, I think that's her name. If anything else, she is pretty much the sibling of the Witches Cult representing Gluttony, if anything. Rui Arnib or something like that. Sorry if I mispronounced the name. If I mispronounced the name wrong, please forgive me on that. All I know is she says a couple words and makes her leave. So the Witches Cult is out of the city, but it's not without any consequences. While there are some injuries and some people might have gotten killed or hurt, they all seem to be okay, but the city is in very bad conditional, in a very bad state. Same goes with freaking Cruz. I think she must have suffered the worst of it, considering that she is unable to what's the word? Can't get up from the dragon's blood infection, so that's even ugly. So when it comes to the scene with the Wrath Archbishop of the Witches Cult, Sirius talking to Subaru, it looks like to me she's obsessed with Subaru because you have Betelgeuse inside your body. So, or Betelgeuse, however you pronounce his name, man, because all I know is she's trying to sing maybe a song to bring him out of his body, and apparently that's kind of dangerous. So by that time they only managed to talk with her for a little bit and decides to make her leave after she's becoming unbearable to what's the word, get close to or even talk to anymore. By that time, we get to see Subaru and Amelia talk with Al for a bit, and Beatrice ends up telling the truth of how she only managed to wake up because of Al's crystal, that item that was given to her. All I know is it was a Kiritaka's magic crystal, and he ends up saying, "Don't tell. There's no way you're gonna have to be wondering or knowing about that." Other than that, we get to see a meeting wanting to what to do with this Archbishop of Wrath of the Witches Cult. Many prefer wanting to kill her, or one of them prefers killing her, but many says no, we shouldn't be doing that because who knows what the hell is going to happen if we do so, which is understandable. While she is not a threat anymore and she's stuck and chained up, who knows what can be done about her. So that for the time being, they plan to take her to the capital and possibly keep her there until they figure out what to do. So looks like to me, like I said, even though the battle's won, unfortunately the damage is still a little extensive. A lot of people are still what's the word, infected or unable to change back. For example, the people who turn into flies, which is very freaking disturbing. At that point, Priscilla says, we should just kill them right now because they are really in a very bad state, and I don't think you could change it back. Amelia says otherwise and asks them to let them give them time. And by that time, she can't heal them right away, but she could put them into a cold sleep. So, we have to it that Liliana wants to back up Amelia's claim to help these people out and offers her head or life if things go south or it goes bad. So, pretty much although things are not really in a very good state, like I said, the city is in major damage, ruins, if anything, and some people got hurt, some people forgot their names, and people got turned into flies. You get the idea. Man, that is really disturbing. Other than that, things get much worse when I get to the scene right here. But we get to see that Amelia has her same crystal about the same one as Puck, and knows we're just gonna have to wait a little bit longer before we get to see Puck again. Other than that, when Subaru tries to meet up with Ricardo, apparently he lost a hand, which is pretty sad, but apparently it is what it is. Sucks really badly, but I hope maybe he could get a replacement, but it is what it is. However, when it comes to like Subaru talking to Julia saying, "Hey, how you doing?" He goes like, "Hey, do you know me? Who I am?" And even Subaru's like troubled by this, saying, "What are you talking about?" Even Emil's like, "Hey, are you Subaru's friend by any chance?" And Subaru's like, "Excuse me? Are you okay, dude?" Even Subaru is like trying to figure out what's going on with Julius, and Julius is like, "Hey man, I am as troubled as you are," kind of face expression. And Subaru's like, "You gotta be kidding me. What the hell? Are you serious right now?" And the episode ends off with the result of the Battle of Pristella. And that's about it. So, yeah, there is an announcement or video preview that Season 4 of ReZero is in production, or Season 4 of ReZero is on the way. We don't know when it's gonna show up, but I'm pretty sure it may take a while. I hope to hell it doesn't take, like, a long time, considering that, you know, when the years go by, you're gonna be wondering, like, whoa, this took this many years to make the season, and we gotta wait for it at this time and let it play its part, you know? You get the idea. I know I'm kind of crazy for saying that a lot, so forgive me. Other than that, Season 3 of ReZero was okay, or not too bad. I mean, like, it was just a battle action-oriented season, if anything, just being honest with you. Other than that, at least it's not as, like, one-sided as it has to be. Well, it became a little one-sided eventually, but when it comes to both sides facing each other, it's not as, like, they lost some, they gained some. Well, when it comes to the Witch's Cult, I think they lost a lot, but they didn't lose too much. As for the other side, for Subaru and his friends and allies, they kind of took a lot of damage, and the city is in a very bad damaged state. Just repeating myself on that. Not to mention, Julius lost his name. He says, "Do you know who I am, man? I don't remember." And Subaru's like, "Are you kidding me?" kind of thing. Well, I guess they did lose a couple archbishops. Regulus is the one that got drowned to death. As for Sirius, she gets arrested and is now going to be transported to a safe prison capital. And as for the other archbishops, not so much. They really lost a lot. They lost two, like, archbishops of the Witches' Cult, which they are pretty strong in, but it doesn't look like it's going to make any, like, significant turnover or provide any advantage for Subaru and his allies. It all depends on the situation. So, at this point, I'd say it's a tie for now. I mean, like, the Witches' Cult didn't get what they really wanted in the end, but they managed to do a lot of damage and cause, like, irreparable, everlasting transformation thanks to the Sin Archbishop of Lust, Capella, and much more. They're gonna have to figure out how to stop, like, transform people back to who they were, which could be possibly impossible considering that she's the one that, like, mixed up the DNA and monstrosity together. Other than that, so yeah. Anyways, I look forward to next season. Hopefully it won't take too long and it will show up soon. Maybe at most I'm making bets maybe two years at most, but it all depends on how hard or how long it takes for our studio, the one that produces the anime, White Fox takes. They could take as long as they want. I just hope it doesn't take too long to a point that we become super old, you know? You get the idea. Anyways, I look for, like I said, and repeating myself, I look forward to the next season. I'm pretty sure the way how they ended the cliffhanger off like that was a total slap in the face, saying, ha 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 ha, kind of thing. But other than that, it was a pretty good result ending, although not too much of a good result, if you get what I mean. What do I give this season for ReZero, I'd say maybe a 7 to 8 out of 10 on like action-packed level and balance. But in terms of story, kind of questionable. I mean, like all I can see is that the witches cult are causing a lot of damage, and yet they didn't really achieve anything other than like following the gospel. Oh, we're gonna follow the books' order. That's it. As for the witches cult, like I said, they didn't achieve anything. Forgive me, and he lost two other archbishops of the witches cult, which is Sirius and Regulus Cornelius. So yeah. As for Subaru's side, they took a lot of damage. They managed to save the city, although the city's like in very bad state. And of course, many innocent lives got into a fly transformation, and many others have been turned into magic beasts to kill, and they were put to rest. And of course, having to kill corpses here and there. That's the richest cult's flaws as well. So yeah, pretty much a lot of things been going on, and I'd say it's a tie or a draw for now. But I'm pretty sure things will get worse if they don't find a way how to fight this back, because I'm pretty sure this is just the beginning of misery and suffering and damage, everlasting damage. So until then, I'll see you guys later. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out. Bye bye. Ta-ta-da.